Several factors can contribute to a poorly designed office space. This can lead to negative impacts on energy, productivity, and overall well being. If you are ready to transform your workspace into a sanctuary of creativity and productivity, then book a Feng Shui consultation or a redesign consultation with me today, and we can create a beautifully balanced workspace that will elevate your life. Let's take a look at a few office spaces so that we can see what's going on. The first office looks to be a loft. There is a clearly defined divider that separates the space from the rest of their apartment. I do like the overall style and aesthetic. Is really cozy and really organic, but I do not approve of the position of the desk. The desk is facing the wall. It is also not in a commanding position. We do not know which way the door is situated in this home, but I can almost assure you that it is not coming from the other side of the wall. You don't want to have your back to the door. You want your door to be in a commanding position where you can clearly see the door at all times so you can stay on top and be aware of the energy that is coming in. I love that there is access to windows and they can look out and get some natural sunlight coming in. I like that there are plants, which speaks to upward growth and mobility. There's a lot of wood and organic energy here. I also love that there seems to be a love of music. They have a bunch of different elements that speak to music, which helps so much with creativity. I see speakers on the table. I see some sort of receiver, music receiver within their credenza, and also there is a speaker hanging from the ceiling. So they were very intentional about the placement of their music, and this speaks to, they're probably getting into the vibe while they're speaking, and that is really allowing them to be more creative. I will rotate the desk so that the desk would be facing us, or orient the desk so that it's facing towards the right. That would be basically the only adjustment here. It seems to be pretty open and creative. Let's move on to the next one. The next office that we're going to pull up is also, it seems to be an high rise of some sort. It's pretty small, it's pretty narrow. It lacks a lot of color. It lacks any color really. It's kind of sterile, I would say. And not that this could be a bad thing, but I would like to see either some sort of element of coziness. This seems very sterile. It seems very sharp, and there's a lot of reflective surfaces and the shiny metals and the glass. I do not recommend glass surfaces for desks because they tend to lead to overthinking. The desk is also not in the best position, either of the two. I'm going to assume that the door is not on either of the two walls and it is in our direction. So it's not the worst direction for a door, but it is still not the most optimum. I don't recommend placing desks directly up against walls. If you can avoid that, turn the desk so that you're either facing the door or facing the window, but not facing the wall. When you're facing the wall, this kind of like stops your opportunity for movement and growth because you're staring at a wall. Additionally, having that clock directly over their desk is not a good idea. These clocks are very powerful symbols, and it can influence and give you a sense of having too much pressure against racing against the clock of time. That way, it's kind of stealing away your flow and your creativity and your focus if you're constantly focused on the clock. So in this situation, I would probably just rotate the desk so that the window is behind the desk. Could leave the clock there then and add a nice rug to ground their energy and their space a little bit. Oh, and not have a desk with a glass top. I do like the metal. I really like the metal. That really speaks to like sharpness and clarity and precision. But I would prefer either to have a solid white lacquered or painted wood solid tabletop, or or a wood texture, like a natural wood textured tabletop or stone tabletop, anything but glass. Glass just really is not a good working surface. Let's look at one more. In this last example I'm going to show, I really like this example. I love the color choices. Orange is a very creative color. It speaks to the sacral chakra. This is playful, this is joyful, and creative energy. It's the type of energy that really gets your creative juices flowing. The shelves is styled, it's orderly, it has all of the personalization and the order of the books for reference, the favorite books, and it is also just really meticulously styled where it's not over cluttered, and at the same time it really speaks to their their personal styles and tastes. It looks a little dim in this picture, but I do see that there are quite a few different sources of light, which means that they have ample sources of light from different heights. There's the ceiling light, there's the floor lamp, there's a table lamp. So there are many different sources of light to minimize eye fatigue and eye strain and have enough light within the space. As visually appealing as this room may be, it's completely out of balance. So what I would do to this room is I would take that bookcase that is on the right hand side and move that over to the left hand side of the room. After that, I would rotate the desk so that it is rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise so that it would be in a commanding position with that door that's on the far right. Put some beautiful imagery right in front of it, perhaps some awards or certifications, and imagery of a nice natural scene, something really inspiring or uplifting that matches the vibe, but is going to be inspiring some additional creativity. The reason we're going to put that bookshelf behind them is that is going to act as a grounding, stabilizing source of support and a reinforcement of wisdom and knowledge. That's all that I have for today. If you are ready to transform your workspace into a sanctuary of creativity and productivity, then book a Feng Shui consultation or a redesign consultation with me today, and let's create a space that inspires and energizes you. That's all for now. I'll see you soon.